the former World Youth Champion, looking to win his second PDC title, 7 years after his first.
60.
Against a man looking to win his second in as many days. Chris Murphy and Mark Webster ready to talk you through it.
Yeah, been some effort
100
from both these players in different ways, really. Keegan Brown got out in front midway through his semi-final and controlled it. Nathan Aspinall had to battle against Ted Evans and survived 4 match darts before getting the job done in a deciding leg. But Aspinall looking for back-to-back titles. But Keegan Brown has been fantastic today and will pose a massive threat against the Asp here.
60.
Yeah, well, the run to the final sees Keegan Brown move back into the top 64 in the order of merit. That's where he needs to be at the end of the season to make sure he's playing on the Pro Tour again next year.
180.
Otherwise, it's off to qualifying school. And it's a maximum against a throw in the first leg for Brown.
Yeah, I think he's well on course now, Keegan, isn't he?
25.
In World Championship spots, Minehead spots, so there's guaranteed prize money. He'll have a stab at the Grand Slam qualifiers as well. He's having a stab at this 1-2-1. This is some start. Keegan Brown, statement of intent, 12 dart, breaker throw. He's off and running in this final.
301 in 6 darts. Nathan Aspinall shaking his head after Brown made the brilliant start. And it was a brilliant match last time they played. It was here in Barnsley last year. A 6-4 win for Keegan Brown, despite the fact that Aspinall himself averaged 113.6.
83.
Yeah, some performance from Keegan Brown. It's some start from Keegan as well. And credit to him. There have been big doubts coming into the beginning of the year. Well, not from just us pundits, but himself as well. Hadn't been playing like he can. Missed the World Championships last year as well. But this has been some performance today from the man from the Isle of Wight.
I mentioned during his semi-final, this is a player who's managed to make it to the World Match Play 4 times.
180.
Not in contention at all this year. But maybe he's going to start to rediscover some of the form that used to get him there. Nathan Aspinall struggling there. Look around, a bit of a distraction maybe.
And going back to that point as well, when he makes the World Match Play, pretty much made an impact all the time, didn't he? Went on debut against Robert Thornton, beat Johnny Clayton in an opening round, took Wadey all the way to overtime. The last time he was at the Match Play.
89.
That was interesting, that. He felt he'd blocked the treble 19, so went treble 15 bull there, Keegan Brown. Despite the fact that
56.
Aspinall wasn't on a finish. Maybe a sign of a bit of confidence.
Game shot.
Even more remarkable, Keegan Brown, is that he lost first round yesterday to Gaten Nenches. It was an okay performance, average 90, but knows he can play better.
180.
He did make it through to Gibraltar in the Euro Tour qualifiers on Tuesday evening, so that'll help. And if he can sneak in the back door of the Europeans, we're saying he's trying to keep his talk out. There's just more guaranteed prize money. And Keegan Brown, his year is shaping up pretty well at the minute.
140.
Well, this leg is shaping up a little bit better for Nathan Aspinall. A 180 followed by a 140 as he starts to go through the gears a little bit. Hasn't had a dart double in either of those first 2 legs.
137.
It was him in the final yesterday. It was unstoppable with his finishing. Missed his first dart at double against Ratajski, then hit the next 8
42.
to win the game.
Yeah, he was dominant against Christoph yesterday. He's not going to have it all his own way here, though. Evidence is there. Glance over to the score 59. From Keegan, trying to pin a treble 19, but Aspinall able to tee up the 139. Ideally take it out, but knows he's got breathing space. Needs that breathing space as well.
77.
Yeah, there's a chance here for Keegan Brown still. If he goes bang, bang, bang on that treble 20.
125.
Well, just the 2 bangs. But he's knocking on the door. That wasn't intended, that target. Tops is the target now, and Aspinall nails it to halve the deficit in the early stages of this final.
Yeah, big dart from Nathan Aspinall because Keegan was waiting. But Brown knows he's got the break. But Evitt's had a couple of breaks in the semi-final. He'll know how precarious it can be, but Seems to be a little bit more composure about Keegan Brown and Ted show, but not be too critical of Ted.
140.
Big fan of Evans. I thought he's incredible today. He'll be hurting now, but it's a great effort from him. A first semi-final. Surely more to come.
100.
Aspinall, what, 5-1 down in that one? 4-0 down against Andrew Gilding earlier on. He's really had to be the ace escapologist today en route to this final.
180.
Well, big visit. And Aspinall was in a similar position in the previous leg. There we see 4 180s already in the match. 2 apiece.
45.
But chance for Aspinall to break back here. He just doesn't panic, Nathan, does he?
Never beaten. Never knows when he's beaten. Really is one of the most tenacious tungsten tossers on tour. And he's looking at 86 when he returns. Brown unable to
64.
apply any kind of pressure to it.
He had a couple of goes of this against Evans and didn't take it out, but they were both on the ball, and he didn't have this luxury of having time on his side. No pressure on this dart. Shuffling along.
54.
Doesn't seem to settle on that last dart. It took a long, long while to get rid of that last dart. He'll be back, but Brown can apply some pressure.
135.
Does that? It's not often that Nathan Aspinall does that. A leg that should have been wrapped up a long time ago. It was being gifted to Keegan Brown here.
Can he hit?
Game
he does. Use the guy. Bit of a steal there for Keegan Brown, but the 2-leg cushion is restored. 5 darts missed from Nathan Aspinall to make it 2 apiece.
Worked his way past the Womble Worsley, Roby John Rodriguez, Brian Roman, Andrew Gilding, that comeback winner I mentioned, Sean Wilkinson and Ted Everts in the semi-final to get to this stage. Nathan Aspinall for the second day on the spin. A 13-match winning run here in Barnsley.
135.
But that 13-match run will be under threat here because
134.
Keegan Brown has started well, but Aspinall's leaving sort of around like 180 after 6 darts. Done it 3 consecutive legs now, hasn't he? And he starts tying up the back end, and that 3-1 lead will soon disappear.
Yeah, he was missing in action, wasn't he, for the first 2 legs, Nathan Aspinall, but since then he's been excellent. Still on, treble 20.
Is it putting you both off?
Well, I think you can hear some noise from another room in the arena. We are in a festival of fun here at the Barnsley Metrodome.
He did say pop wheel, I'm sure he heard, but it didn't affect him, did he? And that's a 12-dart holder throw. Good composure from Nathan Aspinall, especially after missing 5 in the previous leg. Gets back within 1.
Yeah, there are other things going on in this venue. It's rare that you hear players talk about hearing stuff, but there's a bowling alley, a swimming pool, maybe some sort of classes going on somewhere. Unless Kirk Bevans is walking
60.
past with his ghetto blaster belting out the Wenger boys.
But Nathan did well to shut it out, didn't he? And
134.
Well, it showed how relaxed he is, even though it is putting him off. He's mentioned it to the referee and Keegan Brown, but in a kind of laid-back, funny way. He sees the funny side of it.
And Keegan Brown won't see the funny side of that second dart, but he will enjoy that last dart. Keegan Brown set his stall out from the word go today, taking out the number 14, De Souza. Jose De Souza then beating Darren Webster.
140.
Luke Peters, Danny Baggish, Chris Dobie, then obviously that semi-final against the current world champion, Peter Wright.
96.
Brown looking to restore that 2-leg cushion yet again. He got a break early in this match and he's held on to it, and Aspinall may yet be made to pay for the slow start, despite the fact the final is first to 8. That's a great dart from Keegan Brown. That's a great finish from Keegan Brown, and he does keep that buffer.
Yeah, and that was a comfortable leg for Keegan Brown, because it's been all about Nathan Aspinall really in the last few legs, but Keegan Brown's just managed to keep himself in front. It's a good performance from both, but there's Aspinall's 180 count, 4-2. But the important thing is the scoreline of 4-2 in favour of Keegan Brown. He's halfway to winning only his second title at senior level, and his last one in 2015, as Chris mentioned earlier on. There should be some story.
Yeah, and it'd also be some story for Nathan Aspinall to win back-to-back titles as well, wouldn't it? Particularly with the trials and tribulations he's gone through of late. We can still see him stopping his throw sometimes. I'm not sure how comfortable he feels with that wrist injury. I know Dan had a chat with him for the Dart Show podcast that'll be coming out soon. And he talked about the fact that he's still playing with it. It hasn't gone away, the injury. He's had to stop doing things like practicing for hours on end and playing golf, as has been mentioned at the match play and here in Barnsley.
But it's not hampering his progress, is it?
Well, he might have, in a way, focused the mind a little bit more. And, if you're not sure when you're going to throw your last ever dart, then make the most of it while you can.
100.
He said in his interview yesterday, didn't he? No player wants it more than him in his eyes, and he really wants his tops, otherwise he could be going 5-2 down. And that's awkward. Keegan will be pacing.
Game shot.
Great dart from Aspinall. 4-3, and the difference at the minute is that breaker throw in the opening leg, that 12 dart leg from Keegan Brown, and then leg 4 when Aspinall missed a hatful of darts to level up at 2 each. It's still advantage Keegan Brown, but Aspinall is hanging on in there.
Yeah, it's moments that win matches, little spells, and that 6 perfect darts at the back end of the very first leg of the match that Mark's just alluded to. 180 followed by a 1-2-1 finish. Might make all the difference. Speaking of 180s.
180.
That's Keegan's third, his 15th of the day.
Yeah, timing from Keegan Brown as well. You do feel that Keegan could do with a second break here. But he's dealing with the situation pretty well so far, Keegan Brown. That's a fly, not happy with that one.
125.
Happy with that one, leaves a finish. He's doing more than enough on his own throw, Keegan.
No threat incoming this time from Aspinall. Another in there. Single 16.
87.
Well, wayward there, so has to waste a dart in leaving a double.
And Keegan Brown with this run.
100.
Pretty much guaranteed he'll be at the World Championships and at Minard, so that's a foothold in keeping his tour card, isn't it?
Yeah. A title here.
Game shot.
Probably secures his professional status. Or probably about it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and what it could do as well, winning a title, the knock-on effect. And don't forget, this is kind of the second tournament for the run to next year's World Match Play. And I know we're getting ahead, but believe me, Keegan will be thinking about it. I know how players' minds work on this tour.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Order of Merit race that we're talking about, the top 64, that's a 2-year Order of Merit, but the Match Play race is a 1-year rolling Order of Merit, and that starts
96.
when the previous Match Play ends.
3 legs away, Keegan Brown, from a huge victory. As I said earlier, it'll be a great story.
134.
I was on my own in the semi-final for Keegan Brown, and I just question mark, and maybe you can give your insight and opinion into this, whether Keegan Brown really is a player who hasn't fulfilled the early promise that he's shown in his darts career.
Well, I think he should have done better for the ability he's got, Keegan Brown.
42.
You know, we saw that when he burst onto the scene at the Grand Slam that year when he beat Raymond van Barneveld, didn't he, and pushed Chisnell all the way. I think it was 16-14. And you thought he'd kick on. And
140.
a decent run at the Worlds a few years ago, but it's just been a bit stop-start for Keegan Brown. It's never too late, and he's proven it here.
It's a stop-start approach from Nathan Aspinall. He jokes it in, looks relaxed, very relaxed, sharing
46.
A joke with the referee Owen Binks. But this is a big moment.
Yeah, double break, and I said Keegan could do with this. And he's a width of a wire from getting it.
Oh, 80.
How big a moment could that be? 86 for Aspinall. He's had a stab at this already in the match.
Well, look at that big deep breath. He knows this is crucial with regard to his chances of taking the title. Wrong bed. Now he wants the same bed.
Game shot.
And he finds it. Absolutely brilliant from Nathan Aspinall. Had to hit and did hit.
That's a big dart. Great camera angle as well. You can see how he's just shuffled to his left slightly. Keegan Brown just has to regroup again. Not dwell on the fact he missed 2 darts for a 6-3 lead. And to be fair, it doesn't look like he has. Opens up with a 2-treble visit.
Well, he's still averaging 11 points higher than Nathan Aspinall in this match. It was actually 11 points that Aspinall averaged higher than him in the last match, I want to mention, when Nathan lost with an average of 113.6.
96.
It is 5-4 to Aspinall on the head-to-head, and that's a pretty good record, isn't it, for Keegan Brown, considering their respective positions in the world rankings.
It's a really good record, and
60.
Not many will have an advantageous record over Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, he'll level it if he wins this match.
58.
Only one of those meetings was back on the development tour as well. In fact, it was on the development tour in 2015, the year that Keegan won on the Pro Tour.
I remember Keegan Brown as well, starting in 2015. I remember him saying that he's kind of had enough of playing development tour. He wanted to play senior tours and kind of made a deal with his manager. If he won a senior event, he didn't have to play development tour.
133.
That's how it worked out. He's looking like winning another senior event here. He's edging closer and closer, Keegan Brown, and he's looking
60.
more and more comfortable as the final goes on for me.
Well, last time he won one of these events, you only had to win 6 legs to win a final.
38.
Shake the head of Aspinall, but he's well back here. Can write this leg off. Keegan edging closer and closer.
100.
What would be a huge win.
Game shot.
The double 10, 6-4, 2 away. Brown putting himself in a great position, edging closer and closer to ending this 13-match unbeaten run of Nathan Aspinall's.
$60.
Well, Keegan Brown can put himself within 9,000 of the Grand Prix as well. But unfortunately, I don't think he's qualified for the European Tours prior to it. So it'll all be about tomorrow. That's probably a bridge too far. Let's not get carried away, but it's about maintaining his place on tour. That was the priority for the year, and he's pretty much ticking that box, and we're not even
134
out of August yet.
$58.
He's been involved in 5 finals this year, Nathan Aspinall. Could, by all means, make it to a final again tomorrow. We do have another day of darts live for you on PDC TV, Players Championship 24. On air from midday on Friday.
Yeah, it's
60.
a big one, isn't it? It could be the last time we see some players for a while. The tour goes down under for a month. There's no action on the PDC Pro Tour. Then it's all European tours, 3 of the 4 weekends.
28.
In September, and the World Series of Darts final sandwiched in there as well. So no Pro Tour action till October. So big day for players tomorrow.
$80.
Oh, the bounce out. He said how many times. I mean, it hasn't happened an awful lot in the final, but it must have happened a lot over the course of the day for Aspinall. Not as much as it did for Keegan Brown when he played you at the Grand Slam, Mark.
It was fantastic, that was.
145.
I didn't feel remotely sorry for him as well, and I mean that, because he was winding me up in an exhibition the night before, but he's getting the last laugh here, and this is good from Keegan Brown. He deserves to be in a position to go 7-4 up. He's been the better player. He's in dreamland here.
This to go within 1.
25.
Well, this is one of those shots that would be typical Nathan Aspinall.
And would frustrate Keegan Brown because he had so many chances to secure that double break that I felt he needed. Pulls it low. More chances for Keegan Brown to move one away from victory.
Yeah, the jovial persona has disappeared from Nathan Aspinall. The smile has run away from his face. But Keegan Brown hasn't yet run too far clear in this final. Chances go begging for Brown. And Aspinall accepts the gifts and closes the gap to a single leg.
Well, Keegan Brown could have this final soda. This will test his resolve now.
99.
One treble visit to start. Still separated by that solitary breaker throw.
46.
That happened in the opening leg.
His best spell of the match came in the first leg.
99.
6 golden darts from Keegan Brown. Oh, he'd love something similar here just to ease the pressure.
Can he finish the job? Can he just forget about those missed darts?
85.
He's in an okay position, Keegan Brown, but it's getting a little more precarious because he hasn't managed to hammer home the advantage. It's a 6-5 lead.
100.
That he'll feel is generous to Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, and he's not a player that you want to get in a battle with, is he, Nathan Aspinall? Because so often he wins
140.
the fights. Will not lie down.
We said that earlier, didn't we? But that was a big visit from Keegan.
Well, no player ever really gives up in a game, but Aspinall just does seem to have the ability to keep fighting, to keep jabbing away.
No score.
And Keegan Brown there, well, it's all unfolding.
That's a clanger as well, isn't it, Chris? Because even if the 170 doesn't go, he's got to navigate his way through that 78, and the 170 chance hour won't go. This is the shot that won Nathan Aspinall his UK Open title. Hang about, is he going to do it? Brilliant shot from Nathan Aspinall, and he's been very patient in this match. He was broken in the opening leg, and he's had to wait till the 12th leg to break back, and he now, for the first time, becomes favourite for this final.
And Keegan Brown should have had a dart double to stop him even having a throw at that 170. Needed the single 20 for a dart at tops, hit the treble, bust his score, and Nathan Aspinall may have just broken 59. Keegan Brown in more ways than one.
Never mind having a shot. Keegan Brown should be done and dusted here. And you give Nathan Aspinall an inch, he'll take a 140. Keegan Brown just got to try and regroup, but he'll be hurting.
Brown bruised by the big fish finish from the Asp.
39.
And look what's happened since.
I actually said in his interview yesterday, Nathan Aspinall, Dan Dawson, don't bet on him today because he felt the arm.
80.
He's not there yet, but regardless of what happens, it's been a great effort. You do feel for Keegan Brown here, though. Not done yet, though.
96.
Yeah, but it's 59, 39, 96. Really useless at this point.
Aspinall being afforded so much time.
109.
And just lays it. What a leg this is from Aspinall. Talk about a leg to follow up a 170. 12 darts thrown, 32. Keegan Brown well back, and he found a
60.
break in the opening leg. If he's going to win it, he's going to have to find a break in a final leg, and he's going to have to get it there first. Have I spoke too soon?
28.
Well, even those misses may not matter because Brown is only just halfway through the leg after a dozen darts. But yeah, the break of throws, the breaks of throw in this match. That 1-2-1 from Brown, 301 in 6, and then the 170 check out from Nathan Aspinall. It's taken something special.
Game shot.
And it's going to take something special now for Keegan Brown to win the match because from nowhere, Aspinall is in front and one away.
And what must this man be thinking now? This final has got away from him, and
27.
Started with 27, and Keegan Brown has unravelled here, and he's been so impressive throughout the day and throughout this final. It would be a harsh way for him to lose this game, but Aspinall
60.
Not there yet.
It's a very different decider to the duel that Aspinall was involved in yesterday. really ran away from Rataishi.
93.
He was sublime on the finishing. He actually only threw 9 darts at double in that match. He's thrown 18 in this
97.
Aspinall is averaging below 90. He averaged below 90 in the semi-final.
96.
90 in his quarter-final. He hasn't been at his best the last few games. His big victory, you have to say, was the 6-4 victory over Andrew Gilding, trailing 4-0.
140.
But this would eclipse that, because he's just hung on, hasn't he?
180.
Well, fair play to Keegan Brown. Showing a little bit of fight himself there.
Yeah, don't forget Keegan Brown was impressive.
58.
He'll fancy a last leg shootout if it goes there. He's worked hard to get to this position.
Just starting to recover from that blow, that big 170 blow.
73.
But now the 146 could seal the win.
Yeah, Aspinall's on the receiving end of a 146 at the match play. To suffer defeat. Can't sneak in the corner, so Brown to send us all the way. 3 darts at 32 for a last leg decider. You have to say Keegan Brown deserves a last leg decider.
Game shot.
And he gets one. It all comes down to one leg. Smile from Keegan Brown, but it's Aspinall with the darts. Will it be back-to-back victories of Nathan, or will it be a first title since 2015 for Keegan Brown? This leg will decide Players' Championship 23 final here in Barnsley.
$140.
Solid start from the Asp. How can Keegan respond? He's going to at least match him. Well, it's as good as matching him.
139.
Decided to switch.
Yeah, and the way Keegan's darts landed, that was a sensible switch, because he couldn't have got it over the top because they were so upright. And the fact he's followed Nathan Aspinall was giving Nathan something to think about. And there's the first wobble in this final leg.
Full focus, he knows. His first start has been fantastic in both of his visits
125.
in this last leg, and it is a brace of 2 treble turns.
Aspinall may have thought the 140 to start the leg might have broken Keegan Brown.
100.
Incredible response.
Yeah,
Marginally in front, Aspinall.
I thought the 170 may have broken Keegan Brown. Well, the next couple of visits were poor from Keegan Brown after it, but he certainly recovered, and he's going to get the first chance here in this last leg.
What pressure can Nathan apply?
95.
Might cost him. But he may not get a go. Brown, open with a 12 darter. Can he finish with a 12 darter?
87.
The match start goes begging. Brown low on tops. He's been on top for most of the match, but the 170 break after Brown's big bust caused him bother, gave Aspinall a chance. But now he's missed in a big moment, and Brown will come back.
And Brown has just got to focus. Aspinall knows all he can do is hope for errors from Keegan Brown. But Keegan Brown is going to get 3 more match darts. He's had 1 to win the title. 3 more if needed at double 10 here for what would be a remarkable victory.
Can he guide it in? He can.
Shot on the match.
And it's King Keegan.
Keegan Brown.
As Brown takes gold in Barnsley, denying Nathan Aspinall a double delight, having won the title yesterday. Keegan Brown wins out of nowhere. An 8-7 success in a thrilling final. He beat Peter Wright in the semis. And then a bruising battle against Nathan Aspinall goes the way of Brown. There you see the stats. Both players had plenty of chances in the game, but 2 big moments. A 1-2-1 in the opening leg for Brown to break, then a 170 to break for Aspinall after Brown had bust. But he won in the end his first title in some 7 years.